Boxing King Media in association with boxer Francis Warren. Your guy Moses Itauma, third time out. You've got the opponent to give him rounds. Is that the biggest challenge for you for this Saturday?
Biggest challenge is getting him sparring. We're off to Hamburg for a week on the 15th of May to go and spar with Aliev and Luredet. So looking forward to that. But obviously Saturday, he's got a very tough Ukrainian fella over 6 rounds. To be fair, the Ukrainian didn't want to come over 4, so we've we spoke to Moses and his coach Dan Woolwich, and they want to do 6. No problem with that. I don't think it'll go 6. There's no intention of it going 6, but it's good to have someone with a bit of ambition coming over, and looking forward to it.
How difficult are you finding the matchmaking for him? Because I'm assuming whoever you put his name towards, they'll probably want ridiculous money.
It's not so much that. I just think they want to box next weekend. So obviously, if you get stopped, you can't box for 28 days. So it's more a case of you have to pay for the 3 weeks that they're going to miss. Listen, he's a super talent. Everyone's becoming aware of him. Any matchmaker or boxing agent worldwide worth their salt will know who he is. So when you do make that call, there's a bit of a snigger down the phone, and then you start talking money. It's going to be an interesting journey. So he's got this, and then 5 more this year as a minimum. We've got 8 next year. So if all goes to plan, by the end of 2024, he'll be 16-0. It's obviously it's one fight at a time, but he's a very ambitious guy. He's been not disappointed, but obviously a bit despondent about that. The two fights he's had so far, because I think he thinks that he's in for, because it's pro boxing. It's maybe he's expecting it to be a bit tougher, but he's finding it so easy so far, and rightly so, because they're 4-rounders, just to make sure he can deal with the pressure of a fight night. He definitely can, as we've seen, 2 sub 30-second stoppages. So we're on the right path.
How do you think he's dealing with the fame, the money he's probably going to be earning, because he's still technically a teenager? It's a lot of attention and probably a lot of eyes on him for a young kid.
The plan for me is to make sure that he gets used to it as quickly as possible, because it's only going to get bigger. We did about 6 months before he turned pro, just bringing him to press conferences and with his brother Carol. On fight nights, getting him to do a couple of interviews here and there, so he wasn't sort of coming into it cold. He's enjoying himself, when he's in the mood for it. He's got a great smile, great sense of humour. And when he's not, he's like any other fighter. They just want to go home, especially fight week sometimes when I'm not suggesting Moses has to make weight, but there's always different things. It's like today he's gone off for a massage, might have a little niggle or something, that they want to go and get ironed out, so that obviously takes priority. Yesterday, on the other hand, we had a press lunch with a few guys, and then he had a long night at TalkSport doing the grand arrivals, and he enjoyed himself. So it's a great question, because obviously some fighters fare with it very well, other guys it takes a little bit longer. But I think as long as we don't overdo it, he'll be fine.
How long do you reckon till you get him somebody that's going to actually come to probably win? Because obviously these guys initially are going to try and survive. Because I'm quite intrigued to see what it'd be like in a head-to-head with somebody who's saying to him, "I'm going to knock you out."
Well, the plan is 2 4s, 2 6s, 2 8s. So in his 7th, 8th fight, he'll step up to 10s. That's where our head's at. But there's obviously no point paying someone 10 rand money if they're not going to come and have a fight. So that will be dependent on the opponents that we can pull in. Titles I don't think are important at this stage. That can wait till fight sort of 10, 11. But it's not long. Fight 10, 11 will happen in February 2024. That's the time frame we're on. So we've got a short list of guys that I'd like him to fight. Fights 4, 5, 6, and then someone like Kamil Sokolarski wouldn't be a bad shout in fights 5 and 6, 8s and 9s. You're going to want some people who've got ambition of their own.
Last question on Moses: are you going to go down the domestic route with regards to British titles? Do you think you might skip that?
See what happens. You can't do more than 10 rounds until you're 20, so that takes him to December the 29th, 2024. And by that point, we'll be chasing down, if he wants to beat Mike Tyson's 30-year-old record, we'll be chasing down a world ranking rather than a British title. Who knows? Maybe win a world title and then come back for the British.
Sounds good. And the main event, Francis, how do you see it going? Do you think Zhang offers any sort of threat to JOYCE?
He's a heavyweight, so of course. We saw what he did with Hrgovic. I thought he nicked that fight as well. Hrgovic was supposed to be the second coming of the heavyweight division up to 6 months ago. I know he had circumstances around that fight, but I did think Zhang nicked that fight. So, Joe Joyce has got to be on his A game. Just because Zhang hasn't got the profile, say, of Joseph Parker doesn't mean that he's not as dangerous. So, Joe Joyce will know what he's got to do on Saturday. And Zhang's obviously got a world title. This is a world title fight. This is one step away from potentially fighting for the unified titles in 8 months, 9 months. It's so much on the line on Saturday night. This isn't win one world title, then you're going to make the fences. This is win this on Saturday. You're in pole position for the biggest prizes in world sport.
And obviously, being Moses and Manja, you've got a big eye on the heavyweight division. You want to watch AJ's fight. What did you make of that fight, his performance, and also what he said a couple of days ago, saying that he won't be fighting until December?
Sorry, repeat that.
What did you make of AJ's performance and the fact that he posted something online a couple of days ago saying that he won't be fighting until December now?
Well, he's got his reasons, and to be honest, just if that's what he said, let him get on with it. I've got no. He's obviously, maybe he wants to spend a bit of time with Derek James, which I think is probably a good move, because the performance was what the performance was. It wasn't spectacular, but he got a job done, and it's not like he can step back and have another. People were saying Jermaine Franklin wasn't a fight that set the world on fire, but he did do the tickets, and I'm sure it got decent numbers. However, I think he's only probably going to be allowed one of those by the boxing public, and if he takes a big step up, say in the interim between now and December, where they've obviously got something planned, say he fights in the summer and it goes horribly wrong, then his December plans are out the window. So it's probably, if you're his management team and his promotional team, it's probably a sensible move to sit tight, spend some time with your new trainer, and take the big fight for the big money in December, if that's what they've got in the pipeline. I don't disagree with what they've done. Anthony Joshua is a name review fights tomorrow or in December. We saw, he did well, but at the moment he was at the O2. If he takes a stadium fight, it's got to be a step up, and you don't want it to go wrong in this, before what they've got planned for December.
A lot was made of the fact that the fight was sold out in the final few days of before the fight, and Fury obviously sold out, I think, double or maybe treble, literally a couple of months early in the winter. What do you make of that? Because it seems that public opinions change, the tides kind of shifted, because it was literally the other way around, literally 18 months ago. Why do you think that's happened?
Well, it's sport, isn't it? People go to what's hot, and
do you think the British public are just ruthless? Because it's mad when you think about it, because what I've just said to you, it was the other way around literally less than 2 years ago.
It's a cyclical sport, isn't it? You can be on top, then down at the bottom. So it's a cyclical sport, and if you keep winning, then the crowds get bigger and the audiences get larger. So, it's Anthony Joshua's a draw, and anyway, he is what it is. But Tyson Fury's the biggest boxing star, one of the biggest sports stars on the planet. So I don't think the two are comparable right now, honestly.
And finishing on Tyson, there's rumours circulating maybe he's sitting out for Saudi money and the fight could happen in Saudi. He's had loads of criticism. True Geordie laid into him on his podcast. I don't know if you saw that or not. What is next for Tyson Fury? Is he going to wait for the winner of this fight?
No comment on Tyson at all. If you want to get a comment from that, have a chat with the old man, or give Tyson a ring himself.
Did you watch the True Geordie podcast? Did you see what he had to say about him? He renamed him Tyson Frody.
No interest.
Good man. Francis, anything else you want to add before I let you go?
Sam Noakes, big fight this weekend. He's doing some good things, Sam. I'm very, very, very proud of him. Very excited for him for what the next 12 months is going to bring. won a very good title in the Commonwealth, winning that Commonwealth lightweight title, 10 wins, 10 knockouts, and there's some big fights for him on the horizon. And I just want to make sure everyone tunes in and gives him his full support. On top of the massive support he already gets, his fans are the best. I think some of the best in the business. Him and Nathan Heaney have got huge followings, and he's one of boxing's very, very, very good guys, and I want everyone to get behind him.
He's a proper cheeky character. He's a roofer on the side as well. I spoke to him and Pierce O'Leary.
Stop doing that because I don't want a nail going through his hand.
Good point. I spoke to him and Pierce O'Leary, and obviously there's a lot of in-house fights, but cross-promotional fights for both of them. Like Pierce could be in that same mix as Dalton Smith, Adam Azim, and Sam Noakes. There's obviously other lightweights out there. I think Corey Gibbs is rematching the guy that he lost to. Are you looking at cross-promotional fights, or are you going to keep him in-house?
Wherever the money is, wherever the money is. My job's to make sure these get the right fights for the right money. So between myself, my brother, and my dad, we'll all sit down and decide what's best for the fighters.
Francis, I appreciate your time. All the best this weekend. Thank you.